Welcome to another episode of the Balancing Hormones Naturally podcast, where we offer actions and steps you can take today to start balancing your hormones naturally. This is your podcast host, Leah Brueggemann. I am a functional diagnostic nutritional practitioner. I am honored and excited to be your guide on your journey to better understanding your hormonal health and how it affects your everyday life. Hey ladies, welcome back. So I appreciate your patience on the lack of an episode last week. So if you're not from the US, it was the 4th of July, which is a holiday here. And my sister was also in town and she lives out of state. And so we were just with family and I hadn't batched anything because we're onboarding a new team member this week. So I have been actually having somebody help me with getting podcast edits out, mostly like just popping them up and getting all the behind the scenes stuff done, and she's been awesome. But anyways, didn't have her the past week, so we just got behind. I'm sorry, and I thank you for your patience. So some things coming up that I would actually really like your input on. So if you're on my email list, which I hope you are, I did ask you for like a Q&A episode. So I'm going to be answering all your questions in an upcoming episode. You guys were amazing. We had so many responses. So I don't think we'll be able to get all of them answered, but we'll get quite a few of them answered. And then I've had a lot of requests for my husband to come on. So he's going to be coming on and just kind of talking about like his perspective of like cycle syncing and me working with a bunch of women on hormones and periods and all that kind of stuff. So if you have any questions you would like him to answer, please send those to us on Instagram. We would love to answer them. Okay, so those are coming up. What else is coming up? I don't know, I'm blanking. Anyway, so I appreciate your patience and so just incredibly blessed to have all of you listening to this podcast. It's free for you to listen to, and so the best thank you that I could ever get from you is you rating, reviewing, and sharing the podcast on your social medias, tagging us and sharing why you like it, or just sharing it with somebody you think that would benefit from it, because that's how we can get the word out to women that, you know, want some more help with their hormones and can know that hormones aren't there to destroy you. So I have my mushroom coffee. Cheers. I will not slurp into your ears. I'll just sip into your ears. My sister actually gave us a bunch of bananas that were all going bad. So I have some sourdough banana bread, bacon in the oven, just living my best life here. Okay. Seb's outside. Seb's my husband. Well, his name's actually John, but we always have called him by his middle name. But anyway, he's outside building a fence with our son Landon, and they're having a blast. So I'm taking advantage of the quiet. I'm going to chat with you guys. I got asked this question on Instagram, and which if you're not following me, you should be following me on Instagram. And they asked, what would be like your daily non-negotiables, or if you're just kind of starting out for fertility and happy hormones. And I love how she asked about fertility, because I think excuse me, a lot of times we think about fertility in terms of just having a baby, right? But fertility is a sign of your health. If you are fertile and your cycle is good, that's a sign of your health. Now, I'm not saying that if you're struggling with infertility, that you are not healthy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that fertility, as in like you ovulate and have a period regularly, all of that good stuff, is a sign of health. So I hope that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense. Anyways, so whether or not you are trying to get pregnant at this time and second, you want to be regularly ovulating. Why? Because ovulation is how you produce natural progesterone, right? Your progesterone. We always think about like estrogen is great for bone health, but progesterone is also very necessary for bone health. Progesterone is so necessary for our mental health. Anyway, and it helps keep estrogen in check. We produce it by ovulating. If you're postmenopausal, your adrenals are taking over that job. So having these regular ovulations is such a good sign of your health and how you're doing. That's why your period is your fifth vital sign. It actually is that. Like, I'm not making that up. That's not a Leah saying. It was stated that way by the American College of Gynecology. So and to get a regular period, you have to have an ovulation. So if you're on the pill, you are actually not having a period. You're having what's called a pill bleed. So you have the hormones from the pill, the synthetic hormones, and you take them away and it causes a withdrawal bleed. That is not an actual period. By definition, needs to be preceded by an ovulation. Okay, so we're not talking about birth control though. We can talk about that in another episode if you guys have questions about all of that good stuff. So let's talk about like non-negotiables. Okay. Now, these non-negotiables are going to be different for every single person, depending on, your lifestyle. Are you a mom? Do you have kids? Are you single? Are you in college? Like, whatever is going on in your life, okay? Because one of the things I always remind you of when you're looking at your hormones and taking care of your health is, are you sleeping? And I have all these moms that go, but what about when my child doesn't sleep or my child makes it impossible? And I totally relate to that because Landon was a horrible sleeper for pretty much like the first 14 months of his life. He was up every couple hours. So to get a 3-hour stretch of sleep was miraculous. So I completely understand where you're coming from. So these are going to be different, adapt them to your lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. But my first one is not going to be sleep, actually. My first non-negotiable, I would say, for fertility, for balanced hormones, for your mental health, is going to be to balance your blood sugar. And I know that I harp on this all the time. You guys, I understand, but it's so important. Blood sugar spikes and drops have been linked to mental health issues. Blood sugar spikes and drops have been linked to cortisol blood spikes and drops, which are going to be affecting your sex hormones, which are going to be affecting your mood, which are going to be affecting your fertility, going to be affecting your period. Without balanced blood sugar, you cannot balance your hormones. Okay, so really quickly, what does that mean? It means protein, fat, carb, every single snack and meal. Instead of grabbing that orange, I see you, put it with some fat. Just add some nuts to it, you guys. Just simple things like that can, be such a difference. Same thing with your breakfast. I'm not going to dive too much into how to balance your blood sugar because I have episodes on this. Literally go back and listen to the blood sugar balancing episode that I most recently did because it's a gold mine, like a literal gold mine. Also, just for kicks, I've been wearing a continuous glucose monitor for 2.5 weeks now. I had this company send it to me and I was just like, sure, I would love to wear that. They didn't ask me to say anything, and so I'm not going to share the company right now because we'll go into that later. But you guys, I've been wearing this glucose monitor, and I had a call with some of my clients the other day, and we were just talking about all of the things you can learn from a continuous glucose monitor and how your body reacts differently to different foods, and it's been so interesting. I really probably should just do a whole episode on it because it's just been mind-blowing. For me personally, rearranging some things with my breakfast and my before night snack has made a world of difference in my sleep. Which, speaking of sleep, you guys, don't ever skip through the companies that I talk through on the podcast, because like I don't work with any company. I just work with ones that I truly, truly love and use every single day. And the Ro Casa one, which I'm sure is the one you are going to hear, is the tart cherry juice and the deep sleep salve. Like, I have so many clients that come back and they're like, that, like, especially if you wear like an Aura ring or something that tracks your sleep, they're like, my REM was so much better. My deep sleep was so much better. I felt more rested. We're totally getting off track here. Okay, but anyways, changing around my snack before bed actually had me sleeping better, because, and I used the data from the continuous glucose monitor to track like my glucose while I was sleeping. It was so cool. I need to do an episode on it. Anyway, number 1, you need to balance your blood sugar. That would be if you're going to do nothing else, please balance your blood sugar. Number 2, it's going to be for your balanced hormones, for your fertility. It's going to be to manage your stress. And I know y'all want to shoot me right now. I'm not saying get rid of your stress. We're always going to have stress, but it's so important to manage your stress. And I actually am working with a coach right now on nervous system regulation, and maybe we'll bring her on. Do you guys want to hear from her? But it's not that you're never going to get annoyed at people. It's never that people aren't going to do things that don't make you want to just wring their necks. It's more so controlling how you respond to it and learning how to regulate your emotions and reactions in a healthier way, and get your body just back to like more of a neutral state in your nervous system instead of constantly in this fight or flight. So it's a skill. It's not like you're going to get rid of stress. It's just managing stress. So I think something very simple you could start to do is 5 to 10 minutes doing something every day to manage your stress. Does that mean walking in your bare feet outside, walking in the forest, sitting outside in silence, listening to music, dancing it out to some music, playing music, belting at the top of your lungs, reading a book, journaling, doing some EFT tapping, laying on an acupressure mat, which I think that might be one of my new favorite things for for you to do. I can't do it while I'm pregnant, but I've been having some of my clients do it. It's been awesome. It's linked, by the way, if you go to in the show notes and you go to like not Amazon, Leah's favorite, and then like Amazon favorites, it's linked under like stress relief. They're really cheap. I mean, I think they're really cheap. Anyways, so I would highly recommend that. And then, so balancing your blood sugar, managing your stress. You know how I love a good old tart cherry juice to help you sleep, or a topical magnesium gel if you're having some trouble getting in your magnesium. And I have sent you to 1,000 different brands to try and get all of these different products, but I'm very excited to share with you Ro Casa Organics, which I'm so excited to partner with because they have such an incredible ingredient policy, as well as their products are awesome. Literally, that's all I got to say. So again, a friend introduced me to these products and I'm like, okay, I'll try them out. Loved their ingredient policy, and so I started trying out different things. Literally went out and bought, spent my own money, you guys. I'm gonna try these things out for sure before I recommend them. And the things that just spoke to me, the tart cherry juice has chamomile extract and valerian root. You guys, it was the tipping point for helping me sleep so much better while I'm pregnant. I even give a teaspoon of it to Landon and he's sleeping so much better. So we all know the troubles we've had with Landon sleeping. We use their elderberry juice. We use their magnesium gel. They have a muscle and joint cream, which when I popped my rib out, if you're following me on social media, that was, it was so helpful. So they have a tiger solve, which is using the plant-based bakuchiol to help with stretch marks. You can use this while you are pregnant. They have cleaning supplies, and I've just been sending so many clients to them because they have such an amazing ingredient policy. They have great prices, and you don't have to go to 5 different companies to get 5 different products. I can get all 5 of my products at one company, which I'm very thankful for. So those are a few of my favorite products. I swear by that Tart Cherry Juice, you guys. And I reached out to them to get a discount code for you, and it's a super easy to remember discount code. It's LEAH, my name, super easy. So definitely go try them out. They are giving you 20% off your first order. You will not regret it. Literally, if the only thing you get is the Tart Cherry Juice, you will love me forever. But they do have amazing cleaning supplies, and like I said, I love their body butters and their hair spreads for postpartum hair growth. Literally, there's so many options, and like I said, their ingredient policy it's really, really good. So I'm very excited to partner with them. And then number 3 is going to be eating a nutrient-dense diet, because that, like, paying attention to how you are digesting, you know? So I think sometimes people are like, oh, if I eat salads every day, I'm eating a nutrient-dense diet. I'm like, well, if you don't digest salads, honey, like, you aren't getting much from that salad. So you need to start with your gut. But like, getting nutrient dense, meaning whole food, you guys. I think that grass-fed liver, I know, y'all fell over. Grass-fed liver is one of the most nutrient-dense foods out there. And it's so cheap. Like, if you can get some grass-fed liver, liver supplements, like desiccated liver supplement, not as cheap, but super cheap to just like eat liver. I know, it sounds disgusting, but you know, you can make liver pate, you can grind it up. This is what I tell my clients to grind it up. And whenever you make like a meat sauce, you can have it there. I'm sorry, I am not one of those people that's gonna just like sit there and eat liver and onions. You cannot pay me to do that. I'm so sorry. I will not be doing that. But that's really good. Or freezing little chunks and you can swallow it. Or some people like freeze a chunk and put like a little chunk into their smoothie, and they say they can't taste it that way. So my favorite way is to hide it in like homemade hamburgers, meat sauce, things like that. Anyway, super nutrient dense food that would 1000% replace your multivitamin. So you're winning money here, you guys. You know, you're saving money. If you need to be on a prenatal, obviously liver doesn't have your folate, so well, it would be arguable about how much you're getting. So just pay attention there. Also, you don't want to have liver every day if you're pregnant. You don't want that much vitamin A. So always consult with your doctor. But if you're not pregnant, having this a couple times a week is amazing for fertility. It's also amazing for male fertility, actually. So I would say those would be my things. My top 3. If you're only going to do 3, manage your stress, do something for your stress every day, balance your blood sugar, get nutrient dense food in, maybe eat some liver. Prioritize your sleep, you know, and, you know, my heart goes out to the moms who aren't sleeping. I'm about to be one of you again. Because it's hard, but if you can, prioritize your sleep in complete darkness. That's been proven to help raise progesterone levels. Making sure you have a nighttime routine, you know, even if it's just 10 minutes of like letting your body know you're winding down for sleep instead of scrolling TikTok at 11:30 at nighttime and being like, I should sleep. Yes, you should sleep. Okay. Set a timer on your phone or something to like lock yourself out of TikTok or whatever. Instagram, whatever your scrolling nemesis is. The blue light, not great for your melatonin production, you guys. And then same thing, when you get up in the morning, don't let your phone be the first thing you grab, you know? Maybe you get up and you do some coconut oil pulling, or you dry brush, or you do some stretching, or you just go drink some water, or, you know, don't jump right into like putting out other people's fires online, like feeding into other people's drama when you first wake up, you know? Really? Like, your sleep is so special, and don't give that away to anybody, okay? Eating enough food is so important for your hormones, so important. So make sure you're eating enough food, you know, no starving, eating every 3 to 4 hours, making sure you're eating enough food. I feel so many people, they're like, I had a piece of chicken sausage and that lasted me until 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. or whatever. And I'm like, that's not enough food. They're like, well, I was full. I'm like, well, that's because you're so used to all these fad diets and eating nothing. Okay. Anyway, we're off track. Eat enough food. Eat nourishing food. Especially if you are not sleeping because you have kiddos that are getting you up all the time. I would definitely look into doing an adrenal cocktail. It's like 5 ounces of OJ, 2 ounces of full fat coconut milk. You can do a scoop of collagen peptides, a fourth a teaspoon of cream, a fourth a teaspoon of sea salt, and a fourth a teaspoon of cream of tartar. That's really, really great. It's all these vitamins and minerals that you need for your adrenals to love you a little bit more. So that could be really useful. And then also just getting a lot of potassium-rich foods in, because the more stressed you are, the more depleted your potassium gets, right? So potassium-rich foods, coconut water, coconut milk, avocado, spinach, banana, stinging nettle tea is really, really great. Celery juice is really high in potassium as well. So those are great ways to get potassium in, okay? So if you were just starting out and you're like, I don't know what to do, that's what I would start with, okay? You have imbalanced hormones, you have painful periods, you want to start working on your getting those regular ovulations and feeling better. Balance your blood sugar, manage your stress, start doing a couple things every day just for stress relief. Prioritize your sleep, get a nutrient-dense diet in, eat lots of different types of food. Make sure you're eating enough food. Eating enough food is so important. And then just for kicks, get your potassium in, your adrenal cocktail. And then just for kicks, if you want, I think something super simple you could do is seed cycling. So, 1 tablespoon of pumpkin and flax seeds from period to ovulation, and then 1 tablespoon of sesame and sunflower each from ovulation to period. They do have to be organic. They do have to be whole, and then grind them before you eat them. They go rancid quite fast, within a couple weeks. So you don't want to buy a big bag of ground flaxseed and have it last for 3 months. It will be rancid. I do link my favorite seed cycling kit in the show notes. Funk It Wellness. Use code Leah15 to save. If you do their subscription, you get free shipping, and then you get 10% off, and then you get another 15% off for using my code. So save your money, my dears. I love them. Their seeds taste so good, but also I just love the convenience. They grind them right before they ship out, and they only grind enough that you need for just that cycle, so they're not going to go rancid, and then they get delivered every month, so I don't run out and I don't have to go, where are my seeds? Anyways, so those are the things that I would say you should just start doing for your fertility and for stress management. Set some boundaries. Say no to people, Stop people pleasing your way through life. I know, I'm preaching to the choir here or pot meat kettle, whatever that is. I've struggled with that my whole life, and it's something I'm still working on. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Balancing Hormones Naturally. If you found this helpful, I would love for you to share it with a friend and post it on your stories and tag Balancing Hormones Naturally podcast so we can get this message out. You can find me on Instagram at Leah_BRUEG, and I would absolutely love to hear from you.